Bom dia, welcome back. Can you all see this big old bromelide that is I just put up here? These bromelides, I think they're called air plants. They grow really big and really well here in the tropics. There's another one. And here's a couple more. I love them. Well, I think it's time to go out for a walk. Let's go. And I think these plants are called bromeliads, not bromelides. The fruit seller at the corner. Boy, is it hot today. That sun is really beating down. It's good to get on the shady side of the street. Forecast is for rain this weekend, thankfully. I love the rain. Cools things down. Today is Wednesday, so we got Thursday and Friday, and then it's supposed to rain Saturday and Sunday. Boy, I really need to give myself a reality check about my finances. A friend of mine, a dear friend up in California, bailed me out this month. I only got halfway through the month before I was completely broke after paying all of my bills. That's not because it's expensive here. It is not. As I've said in other episodes, I can live on $1,000 a month. Well within what I receive every month from Social Security. But the move back here to Salvador in August really set me back, because I had to start from scratch. Refrigerator, stove, bed, furniture, everything else. And I'm still paying it off. I've got one more month of heavy credit card payments. That'll be January, this coming January. And then in February, I'll still have some credit card debt, but it'll be a lot of the big ticket items will be paid off. And then in March, starting in March 2026, things will get back to normal financially, thankfully. I don't like living on the edge like this. I don't recommend it. My advice, if you're moving abroad, if you're low income and you're moving abroad to a place, country, where your cost of living is going to be much lower, do bring a nest egg, I guess you'd call it, an emergency fund of about $10,000 to $12,000 that you don't touch unless it really is an emergency or for setup costs. Here in Latin America, when you rent an apartment, it normally comes with nothing. No refrigerator, no stove, or anything. So there are startup costs, of course. I've been moving and living abroad for decades now, and I have a support system here in Brazil. So I don't get panicky or desperate when I get broke. And I have someone I can call up in California, a dear friend. But I don't like it. I don't like getting down to the wire and biting my nails and not having any cushion, not having any extra spending money. So I just have to get through the rest of this month in January, and then starting in February, things will be getting back to normal. And I won't be feeling this pressure, and I'm going to turn over a leaf. I had a talk with my friend up in California who sent me the money. He scolded me, as he's done on other occasions. He's seen me living abroad for decades now, knows all of my foibles. I am capable of saving money. I saved 18,000 reais here, but then it all gotten eaten up by the move back to Salvador. And so I've got to get back on the savings track. You know, if my living expenses are 1,000 reais a month, or rather I should say $1,000 a month, rent and everything else, and I get $1,500 a month in Social Security, then I've got $500. Usually a little bit of for play and for extracurricular activities and travel, but I want to and I'm going to start putting a chunk of that into savings every single month, starting in March. January and February, I'm still going to be finishing off paying my debts, but once that's finished, I'm back to the savings, and I plan to be in this apartment that I'm living in now for the long term, the long term. So I don't anticipate another move, and in the event I ever did have to move, I don't have to start from scratch next time. I've got all the appliances, all the furniture, everything I need. So I don't want to get in this kind of situation again, ever again. Take it from me. Live within your means, live below your means, live below your means. Always have an emergency fund, a nest egg. It doesn't have to be big. $10,000. That would be a fortune here. But it's important to have it and not be biting your nails. So, lesson learned. You might ask, well, why didn't I just bring my stuff from my apartment in the small city of San Antonio de Jesus where I was living? My friend asked me that. And the answer is because I didn't have any stuff. I moved back here to Brazil almost 4 years ago with a suitcase and a backpack, a small carry-on backpack, a day pack. And, you know, in my apartment out there in San Antonio de Jesus, and the apartment I had here in Salvador, they were furnished. They had everything. They had refrigerator, stove, bed. In San Antonio de Jesus, all of that's the apartment and everything in it belonged to my brother-in-law. So I didn't have any furniture or appliances to move here with. So that's why I had to start from scratch, and spend a lot of money on buying all of those things instead of the apartment. But I'm settled now, and in a couple months, I'll be back to normal. But another thing my friend asked me, well, you know, I bought a little house in San Antonio, and I completely furnished it with furniture and appliances, etc. And that is true. I had everything. And he said, well, what happened to all that stuff? You just have a bad habit of giving everything away. And I had to remind him, yes, I had all of that stuff. And I bought it all 20 years ago, you know? 20 years ago. You know, appliances, TV, and that kind of stuff, you know, don't last that long. Especially here in the hot tropics. Things, you know, start aging really quickly here. And for many of those years, I did not have permanent residency. So as I've explained before, in my early years here in Brazil, I would stay here 6 months, the maximum time I was allowed to, and then I had to leave Brazil for 6 months. And rinse and repeat, I would do that over and over again. Stay here for 6 months, leave, return. And, you know, during that, though every year I had a 6-month absence, I would travel to another country, you know, things would slowly disappear. It's inevitable. Not blaming anybody or guilt-tripping anybody, it just happens. You know, I'm not around for 6 months. People need things. Children turn into teenagers, turn into adults, need to start their life, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's where that stuff went to. I just think my friend forgot the timeline. I bought all that stuff 20 years ago. It's about 2 p.m. right now. It's not the best time of the day to go out for a walk because the sun is high. It's a hot time of the day. It's better for me to go out either earlier in the morning or later in the afternoon, closer to 5. But I was just feeling restless in the house, so I'm out and about. More bad news from around the world. A mass shooting in Sydney, Australia. The murder of Rob Reiner and his wife in Los Angeles. And there was another bad shooting somewhere. I can't remember now. But I feel peaceful here in Brazil. I know some people find that hard to believe because Brazil has a bad reputation for violence and crime, but it's not affecting me. You just got to know where to hang out, you know? Salvador is classified as the 13th most violent and dangerous city in the world. And yet I live here and I'm fine, and I don't feel threatened or frightened at all. You know, just like any city, there are safe parts of the city and parts of the city that are not safe. And you know, as far as being in the 13th place, well, 2 or 3 American cities are classified as more dangerous than Salvador, Brazil. I believe that Memphis is on that list in number, 7 or 8th place spot. Baltimore, Maryland is on that list. I believe Detroit is on that list. So, one can be a victim of crime anywhere. But the energy that I feel here just does not feel threatening to me. You know, maybe it's because I've been here for 22 going on 23 years now. I know how to carry myself and I know where and where not to go. But I want to encourage everybody to spread your wings and never be a victim of the media or the news, or be frightened of living your life. Go out and explore. Okay, I'm walking up the hill to a neighborhood called Canela. Canela means cinnamon in Portuguese. Boy, Salvador, as I've said before, is a very, very hilly city. Hillier than my hometown of San Francisco, California. But, sometimes you gotta walk uphill like I'm doing right now, but then you always get rewarded because on the other side, you walk downhill. And this is how I keep myself healthy at age 71, walking up and down these hills, just like I did in San Francisco. I do the same thing here in Salvador Bahia, Brazil. This neighborhood, the Canela, it has a lot of hospitals and clinics, and it also has a campus of the Federal University of Bahia. So it's a lively neighborhood. It's an older neighborhood. I like this neighborhood. I could happily live up here in the Canela. It's centrally located. Who knows, maybe sometime in the future. The shaded tree-lined streets of the Canela are certainly nice to walk along. Don't feel the hot sun beating it down on me. Okay, I'm heading back home now, and as you can see, I'm going downhill. That's the reward for walking uphill. Hey, I'm back at Shopping Baja, my local shopping center. And I'll soon be in the air conditioning. Air conditioning. And of course you can't escape Christmas at the shopping center. Holiday cheer at the mall. Okay, back home now. Kitty was waiting for me. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you all in the next episode. As always, beijo, ciao.